Oh my goodness. Hello, Miss Junie. It is so it is so lovely to be with you. Let me just introduce you. Can I introduce you, my darling?
Please. Yeah.
Okay.
Likewise.
So welcome everyone. I'm TinaO and welcome to TinaO Life. This is my dear friend, Junie Swadron. She is a writer. She is a therapist. She is an artist. She is an intuitive. She is the sun embodied, and she has a heart as big as you can imagine. And I'm so thrilled to spend some time with you today, Junie, and to share you with the world. For a lot of reasons, and I'm going to ask a few questions in a second to introduce you and such, but I wanted to just connect first with one of the reasons why it's such an honor to have you on TinaO Life, because TinaO Life, is a place where it's all about stories from the core. And one of the things I admire about you so much is your ability to really look into people and to hold the core of them as they express their stories from that place. And you bring such a wealth of knowledge as a therapist, like over 20 years as a therapist. And you bring such a wisdom and heart from your own personal experience of your own life road and journey. And you have such compassion. So, Stories from the Core, it's Junie Swadron. I'm so glad you're here. And we're going to talk about your upcoming workshop. Yeah. Okay, I'll shut up now. What were you going to say?
I'm right back at you, girl.
High five.
Thank you. What a beautiful introduction. Thank you. And I've reached a time in my life where I can actually receive it.
That's an interesting piece. Can you speak about that, the receiving piece?
Well, that's it. It's about receiving. For many years, I've had some really lovely things said to me, and I've deflected them, and I don't do that now, because I honor my journey. And in the same way that I honor yours, in the same way I honor the people who show up in my life for whatever reason, I honor them, and I've learned how to honor mine. And so, wow, is that ever freeing? Does that ever feel good? Walking my talk, it feels great. Oh, okay. How do you do that? Oh, okay. I'll just tell you, do what I just you do.
That's so great. One of the things I also appreciate you is that, oh my gosh, I mean, you're a therapist and you're a writer, and sometimes you connect therapy and writing and it just all gets so bloody deep. Like it's so deep. And you're so funny. Like you're wickedly funny and silly, and like, what is that? Like, tell me about, because I'm so attracted to that silliness. Like, I have to like work at silly, and for you, it's like, at least I think so. I don't know, but tell me about silly.
Me. You're an actor. No, you're silly. I've experienced you. Yeah. You haven't had a script.
No.
Oh no, you just go for the fun. I was going to say the ghetto fun. We both do. That little kid is very alive in you and in me.
Yeah. And so can you speak a little bit about that? How does that influence your writing or the work that you do with people?
What, the inner child?
Sure, inner child or silliness or fun or...
You know what? I think, to be very honest with you, it's been my, I don't know, quirky way of seeing life, or my sense of humor, that I think has really kept me on the planet a lot of the time. I'm able to see the irony of life, and so a lot of things are funny, or not necessarily funny and you see some tragedy and laugh. No, it's not about that at all. It's just that I see irony, or I see quirky, and I don't know, luckily I have my mother's quick wit. And so it things come out. I heard that come up. No,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it helps because I make other people laugh. I laugh, and I can bring it right back to center heart and be very.
I was going to say that I think, in my experience of you, it's almost like the taking the preciousness off the table is actually the gateway to the preciousness.
Thank you.
Does that ring for you? Because that's how it feels when I'm around you.
Well, I've never thought of it that way, to be honest, but I'm going to think about that.
Yeah. Because you have go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't formed my thought, but usually I have to talk in order to get there. Or then I know what I'm saying. Oh, that's how I think. I just put it back. Oh, that's how I think about that. Well, you know what? That's the beauty of writing. The truth reveals itself on the page. You just get out of the way and whoops, wow, look at that wisdom that's all inside all of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you have a weekend workshop coming up that I'm taking. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Right. In August.
Fun. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just dive in. Tell us about it. What's it called? When is it happening? What are we going to do there?
We're going to laugh a lot. Is there something else you want to do? Okay. Right. Name it, I'll figure it out.
So great, Junie. What else is there to do, really? Come on. Well, we could cry, because that happens too, right?
Well, yeah, if it's real for you, go for it. I'll just hold that space and be there. So it's called the Author Mentorship Retreat on Bowen Island at Xenia, of course, where you hold Write Your Best Story, which I had the joy and the privilege of attending, and wow. So it's really a boot camp for writers. Okay, it's why I say that is because it's going to be a very focused time for people to write either their books or their plays, a memoir, short stories. It doesn't matter what it is that you're writing, but if you're writing something that either you want for publication, or maybe it's something that not necessarily for publication, maybe you want to write your story for your children or grandchildren, it's something for your family. It doesn't matter. First writing's always for you anyway. I always suggest that. So if you write the book, write it for you. And the reason it's a memoir, that way, you're free to say everything. Because if you start thinking about who it might hurt, who you're saying what, and maybe you should leave that out, and it stops the process right away. So this frees you. You write it for you. Later you can take out names, events, whatever. Usually a lot of things come up for all of us when we're writing. And so that way you can work through it. That's why I love being able to take two of my most favorite things in the whole world. And one is listening, holding a space for somebody, working with someone with whatever pain might show up. And the other is writing and using that skill of writing. And when you get out of your own way and you let the writing do the writing, then it's amazing how profound that could be. So basically the weekend, it's for people who want to write a book or whatever I described, and it can be at any point along the curriculum, or the continuum rather. And so it could be still a conception, an idea in your head of something you've always wanted to do, but you haven't got it down yet. Or you're halfway through it, or you're almost near the end of it. Doesn't matter, because we're going to work with where you are.
Okay.
And that's the value. So at the end of the 4 days, 3 nights, 4 days, you have something. Either you're going to be ready to take it to an editor, publisher, or you are really in a place where it's solid in you. And so yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Mostly writing. There's going to be a lot of time for writing.
Okay.
There's and reflecting. I mean, it's the perfect environment for a writer's retreat, don't you think?
Oh my God, Xenia, on Bowen Island, West Coast. Yes.
Oh, seriously, all of that, all of the above. And I live on the West Coast in Victoria. I used to live on Bowen Island. It's home away from home for me. And of course, Xenia and all of the energy in the 38 acres of unbelievable oasis of nature is the most perfect place to move into the silence, to hear your own heart, to hear what calls you to write, to hear the truth of your words and your of whatever that is inside of you that your soul is saying this needs to be written.
You said a few things. I'm taking notes, of course, because it's funny. I hear, but it's almost like I hear, but I don't understand until I've written it down. I can see it, and it's not even the act of writing for me. It's things hit, and then I write them down, and then I see them, and then I know them. So one of the things that you said is the first writing is for you. What does that mean?
It means, yeah, it means that when you're writing, whatever it is, and to really truly be free, to liberate yourself from your judgments of what you perceive other people might be saying about your work or about you, you're free to write it all. Later you can go back and edit it.
Right.
But this way you get to write everything you want, the way you remember it, or the way in which you want to establish a character, whatever it is, with letting go of any internal judgment. Well, of course, they're all internal, because unless somebody's right there and saying, you know, don't do that. But a lot of the times those people could be far gone long ago from your life. They may have repeated this earthly toil. You know, we're still having those voices in our head. So the first writing for you means that you can be free to write it the way you feel it. And then a lot of the times, I work with writers, you know, to become authors all the time. And quite often, that aspect of the process is what allows them to write what they really want to write and say. It's healing those wounds first in order to really write a book. Like if somebody's an entrepreneur and they are selling or offering services or workshops, or say it's weight loss, for instance, okay? And they're passionate about that, okay? And they want to, and they want to have a book that would maybe give them more credibility for what they're doing, right? Usually the things that we choose to do as entrepreneurs are things that we've gone through and have healed.
Yeah.
Right? And so most times people are writing about lots of things are going to come up personally.
Yeah.
And so when you can move through that, and that's one of the things that I'm so happy that I'm able to offer. It's not just about writing a book, you know, what chapter goes where, but being able to move through and heal those parts. Then the book is so much more rich, because you can go to those places that other people who want what you do have gone through and are going through, and you promote it in a way that what you've gone through they can resonate with and go, I need that.
Right.
But you can't do it if you're writing it on the surface.
Right. So in TinaO language, it's really, I talk about the communication arrow, and there's 3 parts of the communication arrow, right? There's the core place, there's the arrow itself, and then there's the target, which is the audience, right, where it's understood. And what I love about this is that it's so rich in the core place. It's really, really, really putting language and honor to that core place, so that the arrow, right, when it hits the target, it's still connected to the core place. Yeah.
Even more authentically, I think.
Yes. Like there's a resonance, right? A vibration almost that the reader can pick up on because the writer wrote from that place.
That's exactly right. And when you write from a shallow place, then writing tends to stay on the surface somewhere. And but when you breathe deeply and it's a visceral experience and you move into your heart and you just, as I said earlier, let the writing do the writing because you get out of the way of judging and trying to edit while you go along and
Yeah.
all of those things,
Yeah.
then you're writing from your gut, you're writing from your truth, you're writing from your authentic being.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, the best books that I love are the ones where that's what comes across, where you know that whether it's a character in a book that just goes, oh my God, whoa, that takes me there,
Yeah.
or it's the person's personal story.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I mean, that's what connects our humanity.
Yes, right. And that isn't that what communication is all about anyway?
I hope so.
Yeah.
So we're moving there. Sometimes it's, I think some people it's inhumanity, but I think its consciousness is rising to the somewhere good.
Yes. Yes. I hear you. And I love that you said, let the writing do the writing, because I wrote that down too. Like, let the writing do the writing. So it sounds like the part of the process that you lead people through in the weekend is maybe like kind of developing some comfort there, letting the writing do the writing. Is that true?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
And because what would the opposite of that be?
The opposite of that would be starting and stopping and thinking and planning and and getting stuck and being afraid. And that's that's what happens when the internal editor shows up while we're writing. What I call the itty bitty shitty committee.
Nice.
Those voices that say you can be writing this, you're not. Yeah, exactly. You have nothing valuable to say. You can't spell. Why would you even think about this? What do you know about this? There's 50 people that are already 5 million people that have written on the subject. What do you know? All of those things that can just take us away from, writing, whatever our art form is. When we're being judged, we're being criticized, and when we take over where someone else left off in our brain, oh my God!
What does that mean? Take me there. What's that about?
It means that, say, a teacher long ago has marked up your best efforts with a red pen, and you haven't written for 20 years, or painted for 20 years, or 10, or 100, or whatever it is. I mean, there's so many people that come to my workshops tentatively, tiptoe there. Somebody's dragged them, and they come because they've wanted to write for so long, but some person years earlier hurt them badly and they shut down because they feel so afraid they're not good enough. So when we get beyond that internal editor and we can move from, so that's what I mean when I say when we take over, that person can be long gone from our life. Maybe it's a teacher and we're in our 50s, that person isn't there anymore, but that's where we have internalized what they've said and we believe it.
Right.
And so that's what I mean.
And then it's like we continue that story that was theirs in the first place.
Yeah, let's give it back with love and say, I have compassion that you felt that way. Maybe somebody said that to you too, and that it's not necessarily a way to think, to be in the world. It won't make you happy. So I'm ready to throw that stuff out. So yes, I do. I teach the tools that will help you go beyond the internal censor and let writing do the writing. Absolutely.
Beautiful.
And very fast, very quickly.
I love that. Now, what's interesting about this writing retreat is that it's 3 nights. So we're sleeping over, man. Like
you are.
And then you said this thing about moving into the silence. Is that, I'm wondering if that's where it's connected. Like, is that why we're spending the night, is to allow that to happen? Or
it's a good place to sleep over. I don't know. Whatever happens, we'll work with it. But yes. Yes. I mean, it's just a beautiful place to come home to our.
Yeah.
One sec. I don't know if you can you still see me?
I can. You're frozen, but we can hear you. Oh, there we go. You're back.
Okay. There's this Mind Bell. It's a great app to put on your phone.
Oh.
And it's perfect for what we're discussing right now, so you don't have to cut it out.
Okay.
It's called Mind Bell, and it rings sporadically through the day, and it's this beautiful Tibetan bell, the image, and it reminds you whenever it rings, I just, no matter where I'm at, what I'm doing, I put my hand on my heart, I tell myself nice things, and I breathe and I bless the world. That's what I do every time it rings. So my clients know. I work part-time at the Schizophrenia Society. We have team meetings. They all put their hand in the heart. Whatever.
Wow. Okay, cool. I'm going to look that up. Okay.
For what we're saying, because we're talking about silence. So that bell is silence of the moment. And so, yes, staying over is a way of continuing without getting distracted by our life, of being in that one place in nature where we can stay with the process of what's showing up for us.
Right.
Without the distractions of whatever, looking after a parent or going to work or our children, or whatever that happens to be.
Yeah.
So we're there, and it's full, and it's rich, and it's present.
It's there, and it's full, and it's rich, and it's present.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So
I'm hoping we can have ice cream to boot.
Say again?
And I'm hoping we can have ice cream to boot.
Oh. Sign me up. I think adults don't eat enough ice cream cones.
Yeah, me too.
You remember those days? Like, I just want to go to the beach and have an ice cream cone. Or you'd go to the beach and you'd like say to your tugging your parents, can we buy an ice cream cone? All day you're thinking, can we get an ice cream cone? Can we get an ice cream cone? Am I going to get an ice cream cone today? I'm like, yeah, let's have ice cream cones.
Yeah, I know. I know those days because I keep giving them something every day, and I'm packing it on, Tina.
That's so great.
But, yeah.
You deserve every ice cream cone that you've got.
Thanks.
Oh, that you had. Okay, so I want to, what I'd love to, just so as we sort of bring this to a close, I think we've done a really good job of letting people know who you are and what you're about and really the essence of this work. I heard you say that no matter where you are in the process of the writing, that this weekend will address that. You can have you could have 90,000 words and that's fine. You could have no words and that's fine. You could be halfway through and that's fine. So I got that, and that there is a beginning, middle, end to the work that you do. I really hear that. I think sometimes writers are worried that they're just diving into a weekend of process and they're going to come out with more of what they already have, and they don't want that. So I'm hearing that there is a system kind of, right?
The system, and there's very specific feedback that I offer. Okay. I'll let people know what's extraneous, whether it's redundant, what is not, where I want them to go deeper. I want to know more. If something is better that over there as opposed to in this chapter, or wow, why is it that you want to be writing that? Let's go clearer, let's go deeper. How does it relate to that character over there? If you're saying something happened in 1971 here, but it's 1985 there, let's look at continuity. There's so many things to look at in terms of the structure itself. So it's I've been working as a writing coach for as well as a therapist, because writing was my way since I was a kid. And I knew it was my way for creativity. Some of my most painful entries became short stories or plays or books or whatever. And sometimes it's just damn fun.
Yeah. And I think the other thing that's really special about what you bring is that because you've been on stage before, it's like you've shared stories from many different positions. You've been in the therapist's chair, right? Listening.
Yep.
You've been on stage giving.
Yes.
You've been the writer, the scribe, letting the writing do the writing yourself. And so you've actually occupied many and the coach, of course, the writing coach. You occupied all parts of the writing process, which really offers your participants a very whole experience.
And I just thank you so much for saying that. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I hadn't gone through my own process. for years and years of healing my own pain, and with many different modalities, mostly the writing, but I've got so many modalities up my sleeve after, you know, and I work more intuitively than any way. So if somebody says, well, what are you doing on, you know, on Friday at 4 o'clock? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do I have an outline? Of course I do. Do I know what I want to cover? Of course I do. Do I know how it's going to be done? No, I work intuitively. So I listen. That's how it works, and it seems to work really well that way. It works to work the best that way is when instead of me coming in and thinking I know when I'm here, right? I mean, you know all about that.
Yeah. I'm not going to ask you to say the dates because I want us to be able to use this video again when you do this workshop again. I'll put all the dates in the listing in the written part of it, but we can use this video again for the many times that you're going to offer this over the span of the years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. I expect there'll be a waiting list. I'm not just saying that. It's because it's what it is, and there's so many people out there that want to write the book they're itching to.
Yeah.
And the other thing I want to address quickly is that after the weekend is over, it doesn't have to be over. That there'll be I intend to offer an online support for people to continue the process and a Facebook page, so people can still, the 12 people, I'm keeping it to 12.
12,
we'll have this intimate relationship by the end of it, right, as you well know, and really know each other so well. And if they want to keep that connection and get that support from me and each other throughout the weekend or throughout the time as it goes on, I will do that as well.
Beautiful. So I like to close every conversation with my wish for you is, it's how we do it in Live Your Best Story. And so I just wonder, what would your wish be for anyone watching this right now?
My wish for anyone watching this is to move into your heart, find the truth of what makes your heart sing, and go for it. Whether it's writing, if it's writing and you want to write a book and stuff, please, you know, take a look at the information that Tina's going to send to you. Whatever it is, live your passion, live it. You deserve it. That's what I want to say.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Junie. I'm going to give you a kiss.
I love it. Oh, this is awesome.